I am going to start staffing concept, and the process of staffing is divided into two categories: internal sources and external sources. And in internal sources, it is internally means it in organization. In a particular organization, they will transfer and promote a particular person from one city to other city. For example, this person A in SBI Bank Ballari serves as general manager for a period of 3 years, and he will get transferred to Raichur as the manager head. And external sources, there are seven types: direct recruitment, unsolicited application, advertising, employment agencies, educational institutes, labor contracts, recommendations. And I am going to start now with direct recruitment. In a recruitment refers to external sources of recruitment where the recruitment of qualified candidates are done by placing a notice of vacancy on the notice board in the organization. Example. Example is KPSC. For KPSC, Karnataka Public Service Commission exam for various posts from Group A to Group D, candidates who are eligible from certain criteria of percentage in their degree from the recognized university will write the exam and crack interview and get selected to the job. Second is unsolidated application, or the job seekers who come to the well-renowned organization casually. They will put casually the resume, and with the posts are limited. If the posts are like, take an example, 100 posts. If that is fulfilled, if the posts are 100, the applications are received is 200. Then still the one personal department in the organization will keep the 100 posts in personal department securely, and they match with the prescribed qualifications and the skills, and they will bring the person to the organization, and they will give the job. And through advertisement is the common preferred structure of the external recruiting. The ads in newspapers, professional journals give a comprehensive detail about the organization, type and nature of job position, salary, etc. In most, you have seen most people will mark a newspaper the round mark where the jobs will be there in their posts. This helps an individual to self-evaluate himself against the job requirement and apply for the job which suits him based on their skills and experience. Example, advertisement in NIELIT recruitment for 455 posts in two departments. They have mentioned the required cutoff and eligibility criteria. Those who will write exam and meet the eligibility criteria based on their skills in the required course, they will get placed into that. And fourth is employment agencies. An unemployment agency is a contractor to hire and staff employees for other organizations. It is like middleman who it is like a middleman which has both the hands in from the companies for hiring side and to the candidates who will put their resume in their agency. If the positions are often the positions offered are often temporary contract based, part time or temporary to hire, and the agency will typically keep a file for each employee, noting their skills and work history. Example, an agency will have contracted for four companies. The people or candidate will come and give their resume in the agencies, and the agency he will post to the company based on the resume. Employment agencies are the key roles in the low in the big cities like Bengaluru, Mumbai, or in local bodies where the candidate will get part-time job or temporary job.
Fine.
Sir,
Yeah, move ahead.
Yes, yes. Educational institutes creating a close liaison with educational institutes for the recruitment of students with a technical and professional qualifications has become a common practice of external requirement. Here, the companies will visit the technical management and professional colleges to recruit the directly to job. As an example, and in engineering colleges in throughout in our engineering college, students of the last year got placed in various companies based on the test they conducted and interviews they will keep on the coding interviews they will crack and they will got placed. It is the most first step towards the recruitment. It is like the basic step to the students in the college level. And sixth is labor contract. The contractors who are either employed with a firm or an agreement to supply workers to the firm for the completion of a specific of a task. For the specific type of a task, this method is again used for hiring the unskilled and semi-skilled workers. The contractor helps in touch with the workers and sends them to the place where their needs arises. In doing so, the contractor gets the commission for each worker supplied, and the workers who are semi-skilled and unskilled and semi-skilled workers also gets hired. Education. Educational institutes will help. Educational institutes like companies will come to the campus interview. Example is campus interviews will come. Campus interviews recruiters will from the companies will come to the college itself and and they will recruit the specified person. Labor contract the labor contractors who are either employed or firm or with a firm or a labor contract is like they also will be employed, and other persons who are unskilled and skilled they will also employed with them. The workers who are unskilled they will get skilled and they will get the labor contract. An example is the road contractor who gets the workers for laying road on specific area and the contractor is the road contractor who goes to the who get workers for laying down the road of specific area. The contractor is assigned by the government and workers under contractor is based on some period of time. Last year recommendations made by the current employees or regarding someone whom they knew and who fulfills the qualifications for the vacant position. Recommendations it is like to recommendation to the organization. Those who will recommend will have the knowledge of for the organization and the person whom they will recommend. The recommender usually gives the applicant realistic information about the job. Example, in steel factory there is 10 posts vacant for accounts section, in which steel factory head's friend recommend one employee and give recommendation letter to carry to interview on that candidate. Because of recommendation and his skills got selected. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you.
Fine. Good. Very good initiation and very good presentation. But one small information that I like to tell you all is, while giving a presentation, be slow. Just give a brief idea about what actually those concepts are. Okay, with a small example for it. This presentation is good, but Jayant, you need to slow down yourself. You
Yes,
need to
sir.
slow down yourself, and you must explain the things in such a way that it is nothing but like, it must be in such a way that it is a normal discussion which is going on between you and your friends. It must not be a formal orientation aspect by reading the things. Instead, we must explore ourselves in our own words to all your friends, so that it can be easy for them to understand and digest themselves about the concept. Hope this will be done in the next upcoming presentations which I am going to assign you people. Okay, anyhow, thank you, Jayant. Very good work you have done, and very good initiation, and came like I liked you people that you independently or coming saying that I am going to give the presentation. That is one important thing which I liked in you all. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Next, Bhagya Lakshmi.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Bhagyalakshmi.
Bhagya Lakshmi, can you be a bit louder?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is screen is visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible.
Good
All
morning,
the
everyone.
students, those who are listening to this particular class, you can give your comment on the presentation which has been given by your friends. If you have any sort of suggestion or if you want to appreciate their presentation, whatever it may be, give your feedback in the chat box. Okay? Fine. Start again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Myself Bhagyalakshmi. Now we are going to discuss about external sources. There are 7 external sources. First one is direct recruitment. Second one, unsolicited applications. Sorry. Third one, advertising. Fourth one, employment agencies. Fifth one, educational institutes. Sixth one, labor contract. Seventh one, recommendation. One by one, we are discuss now. First one, direct recruitment. Direct recruitment of qualified candidates are done by placing a notice of vacancies on the notice board in the organizations. For example, there are some companies, they have vacancies in their company. They search about new workers to join that. So then only um, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜಾಬ್ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇವನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ their qualifications, they all are mentioned in the notification. This one, sending agencies representative to college campus and other educational facilities to find freshly trained or trainable talents. Means ಈಗ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಜಾಬ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಗೊಳಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ನೋಟಿಸ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ. ಇವನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್, ಸ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್, ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್. Second one, unsolicited applications. Many qualified persons are taking the initiative to contact a company even though they may not have indicated that they need new stuff. Means I am a freshly fresher and means ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಬ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಬ್ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿ ಇದೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಸೊಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. we don't know about the if the companies have vacancies or not, but we are applying for that job. Third one, advertising. Recruitment advertising is also known as recruitment communication. It is one of the communication between the job seekers and the companies. It includes all the communications used by the organization to attract talents to work within it. Advertising may be the first impression of a company for many job seekers. Means ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟಸ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಟಿವಿ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ communication between the job seekers and the companies. If the job seekers see the newspapers or the channels, they know that if that company has the vacancy. Now I am ready to apply that company for the job. Third one is employment agencies. An employment agency fulfill the hiring requirement of any company in the order in accordance with the skills they needed. The people that join the company through their employment agency are not employed but the temporarily works who are the payroll of the employment agencies. They are like a temporary employees. They have skilled or not, but they work like a temporary agents. Next one, educational institutions. Nowadays, all the companies have increasingly varied and complex, which needed a degree in that particular area. In this way, very big organizations have closely relationship with the educational institutes and management for recruitment of various jobs. For example, our Limet College. There are some big companies, means software companies are ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ನೀಡ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್. In our college, final year students have need jobs. So many big companies are having close relationship with our college. Labor contract. It is a kind of contract used in the labor law to attribute rights and responsibility between parties to a bargain. It is the contract between employee and an employer. What do you mean employer? Means labor contract is it is like an agreement. ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್? someone who paid to work for the person or a company. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯರ್? ಅ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ a person or the organization that employs the people. ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯರ್. ಈಗ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು 1 year ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್. Recommendation is it is a most common, but it is from our relatives or friends or employer in the job company. Means ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Okay, fine. Very good, Bhagyalakshmi. You have done your best, and it was nice listening to you in Kannada, and very good explanations by taking some examples for this. I expect some more thing from your end in future also, like very good with more explanation on a single concept in Kannada only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Next, Kirti.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'll share the screen, sir.
Pardon?
Yes, I'll share the screen, sir.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, Kirti, if you are not able to share your screen, not a problem. You can move ahead with your speech.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir, I'm not unable to share the screen, sir.
not an issue. You can move ahead with your topic.
Sir, I have a PPT for that, sir.
Why you are not able to share your screen then?
So mostly she have saved in PPTX format, sir.
Pardon?
Mostly she have been saved in PPTX format, sir. Even mine was the same problem. We have to save in PDF format, sir, to
Not an
open in our.
issue. Not an issue. We can. You can. If you have your MS or MS software in your mobile, are you using mobile or laptop?
Mobile, sir.
Mobile,
Mobile.
sir.
Not an issue. You can open that particular PPT and you can share the things.
Sir, in WPS office it will come, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do one thing. First, share your mobile, Kirti. Share your mobile. Then go to your
Okay,
file and
sir.
open.
Okay, sir.
If you have that particular PPT in your laptop, you can switch on your camera and you can show that particular PPT. Do you have it in your laptop?
Yes, sir.
Switch on your laptop. I will tell you. Have you switched on your laptop?
No, sir.
Okay, you just go. You just switch on your laptop. Within that time, we can go ahead with Janvi. Okay. Later we
Okay,
can
okay,
come
sir.
back to you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Janvi, are you ready?
Morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning.
Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, visible. Screen is visible.
PPT, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. This is Janvi. Now I'm going to give a presentation on external sources of recruitment. Recruitment is a process of selecting and hiring the employees. There are two sources of recruitments. First is internal and external sources. External sources is nothing but the selecting the candidates outside of an organization. Sir,
Yeah. Do one thing, Janvi.
hello.
Just, I think you are using earphones with you, right?
Sir, is it
It's visible.
yes, sir.
You are using earphones, right? Keep it far
Yes, sir.
from your mouth so that there won't be any sort of disturbances in that particular case.
Okay, sir. Sir, is it visible?
Sir, class isn't. Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
yes, sir. There are 7 different types of recruitment in external sources. First is direct recruitment. Second, unsolicited applications, advertising, employment agencies, educational institutes, labor contract, and recommendations. First, coming to the direct recruitment. In direct recruitment, job offers are directly placed on web portal or notice board. They specify details in it. The one who have qualifications can directly apply to the post. The main advantage of this type of recruitment is it reduces reliance on agencies for searching jobs. For example, we can take news channel management or news channel organization. If there are vacancies in reporters or journalist jobs, they can post their vacancies in their web portal so that the employers can see the vacancies and they can apply for their jobs. Next, coming to the unsolicited applications. Organizations in this type of recruitment, organizations receive many unsolicited applications from various jobs. They don't throw them, but they maintain records of this. When vacancies exist, these applications may be used. The main advantage of this type of recruitment is the employer saves not only the selection and training costs, but also expenditure in the form of pension and insurance. Next, coming to the advertising. Advertising is done through the newspapers and journals. During advertising, the care has to be taken in preparing advertising copy so that only qualified applicants should respond to that. The advertising copy must contain the job specifications, job description, salary, age, and qualifications required for the job. The effectiveness of advertisement should be reviewed periodically on the basis of responses received from the relevant candidates. The main disadvantage of this type of recruitment is the large number of applicants whose screening shots may be quite heavy. Next, coming to the employment agencies. In this type of recruitment, employment seekers register into the agencies. They provide their complete biodata, and the relevant biodata is given to the employing organization by these agencies. The organizations may select or may not select the candidates. This type of recruitment is cheap and less time consuming. For example, there are many employment agencies in government as well as private. For example, ABC Consultants. Next, coming to the educational institutes. Various industrial and business organizations establish close communication with academic institutions. These institutions have training and placement departments who forward the names of graduating students to the interested organizations and invite some organizations to conduct campus interviews. This is limited to institutions imparting technical and professional education only. The method does not cost more. Next, coming to the labor contract. Labor contractors are the employees of the organizations. The workers are recruited through these contractors. The main defect of this method is that if contractor quits the job, the workers also quit with them. Next, coming to the recommendations. The recommendations are made by current employers whom they knew. Through this type, only the near and dear ones of the employees may get the jobs. This leads to nepotism. For example, the CEO of the company may recruit their family members for their vacant post. Finally, coming to the conclusion, external sources of recruitment brings the innovativeness and fresh thoughts to the organization. Hiring through external sources is a bit expensive, but it also contributes in the success of an organization. Recruitment is the most crucial task of the organization. The success of the organization depends on the employees. Thank you, sir.
Fine, good. It was a very good presentation and the design which you have designed. And one thing that I like to suggest to you, Janvi, is the content which you have put on the slides. I think it is more. See, whenever we are going to prepare a presentation, PPT, keep in mind, everyone, this is just a suggestion, okay? The content must be less and the speaking must be more. Okay, content must have some sort of just a small meaning, what we are going to speak about. For example, recommendations, as you said, recommendation is a process what you are going to do, and in order to do this, what is the points? Just the simple small points is more than enough for the PPT. Only the thing, like PPT is just for the others who are going to see us, and the main thing, important thing is they will listen what we are going to speak about. Okay, my suggestion to you all is, including Janvi, whenever you are going to prepare a PPT, just go ahead in brief about what you are going to speak in the PPT. Whatever the thing that you are going to represent, that particular thing must be elaborated with your speech, rather than it must not be elaborated in your PPT. Instead, it must be in a short manner and it must be in the form of bullets. Okay, fine. Thank you, Janvi. Very good work that you have done. Thank you very much. Let us take some 5 minutes break. Just I got a call from HOD. Just I will go and I will speak to him and I will come back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, just 5 minutes. There is some emergency call for me from HOD. I will come back soon. Don't go. Okay. Kirti, keep your presentation ready by sharing. Or do one thing. I have kept it recording. You start with your presentation, Kirti. No need to wait for me. You start with your presentation. Kirti, are you there? Okay. Sorry, I unmuted myself. Janvi, one important thing that I like to tell you here is, whatever the presentation that we have done, it's fine. But one suggestion that I like to tell to each and every student of this particular class is, whenever you are preparing a presentation, that presentation must be in such a way that the PPT must contain only a brief information about what you are going to speak. Instead, it must not contain huge text. Okay. Anyhow, very good job, Janvi. Keep it up. Hope the same thing will be repeated in the next coming classes also. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Kirti, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Do one thing. I kept your videos video recording. Okay. You start with your presentation. Within 5 minutes, I will come back, as there is one emergency call from HOD. I will go and I will attend. I will come back soon. Kirti, you start with your presentation. Recording is there, and don't ever disturb the presentation, other students. Okay, listen carefully.
Okay, sir.
Finding that nobody is responding to the presentation given by your friends. You have to pull their legs. You have to ask them the questions. Okay, this is how the interaction has to take place when it comes to the presentation. presentation must not be in the form of a class. Instead, it must be in the form of one to many people discussion. Okay, so hope this will start from now at least. Kirti, are you ready with the class? With the
Sir, should I start the video, sir? I have PPT in laptop, sir. I'm unable to share the screen in mobile.
whatever that you want to share, you can share it and you can present it. Not an issue.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can start, Kirti. What happened? Kirti?
I'm unable to do it, sir.
Not an issue. Don't be tensed. Okay, don't be tensed. Not an issue.
No, sir. If I start video camera, it's not.
Your camera was on, right?
Sir,
Your camera was on.
sir,
Do one
can I
thing.
send you my PPT, sir?
You can send me your PPT. You can share me your PPT. You can go ahead with your presentation. Even I will share that particular PPT which you present in our portal where all the students can see your PPT or how you have prepared it. Okay.
Sir, now without PPT, I
Do
can't
one thing.
do
Do
it,
one
sir.
thing. You send me your PPT immediately.
In WhatsApp, sir.
In either in WhatsApp, whatever it may be. You send me your PPT.
Okay, sir.
I will share it.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
Just 2 minutes. It's loading. Okay. Okay. Are you people able to see the shared screen? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Kirti, start.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for inconvenience. Um, Myself, I'm Kirti. I'm going to take up this external sources of staffing. There are 7 sources under this: direct recruitment, unsolicited applications, advertising, employment agencies, educational institutes, labor contracts, recommendations. So now we are going to take up each one after the other. So next slide, sir. Hello. Hello. Let's going to the direct recruitment. This is one of the important external source of recruitment where the qualified candidates are being recruited by placing the notice of the vacancy in the organizations. For example, some XYZ company is having vacancies for some higher positions or any job in their companies. So there will be a notice in their company so that the employees working in the company will come to know about the vacancies and they'll share the information with the outsiders or who are waiting for the jobs so that they'll come with this job. Only the employees working in the company uh, will be knowing about this so that they share about the vacancy in the company to the others, and the job description will contain the position of the job in the company, the salary, the qualifications, etc., so that the job seekers will be self screened by themselves for which the job they are suitable for. After this they come to the interviews. Next come to the unsolicited applications. Here the applicants or the employees they themselves take the initiation in providing in take the initiation for coming to the companies and giving their resumes, whether it is irrespective of having the vacancies in the company or no. They just come and give their resumes so that when the company is in need, the employers recruit the people who have their resumes with them when the company is in need. So the main advantage in this is by appointing such employees, the employers does not have to pay any cost for the training or the selections. Generally, when the companies recruit the employees, first they need to give the training of the work which they have to do in the company. So in this manner, when unsolicited applications, when the employees they themselves come with the resume, the cost, the training cost will be reduced to the employers. Next is labor contractors. In many industries, workers are recruited through the contractors. Sorry, like, labor contractors recruited through the contractors who themselves are employees in these organizations. Means, for examples, when we have the government contractors of building any highway roads or any such buildings, higher buildings, the contract will be given so that the contractor will have some people under them who work for him. So when we go with the contractor, he'll get the people for the work for a period of some 20 days or for 1 month, and they'll be given a daily wages. We need not have to go to them and get the people daily who will be in certain place. So if we give this contract to the contractors, they'll get the people by themselves. They'll finish the work, and we don't need have any work to do there. The advantage in this labor contractors is that if the contractor to whom we depend, if he leaves the organizations, then the people working under him will also leave the organizations. Next is educational institutes. Certain professional institutes which serve as external source of recruitment, they hire the fresh candidates from these institutes. The best example is the campus recruitments, where the companies will come and hire the fresh graduates in order that the having keeping in their mind that the company will have the employees with the new talent from the students, and it's a less of cost. With the expensive will be more, and they can easily do it when the companies, and few companies provide the industrial training and live project works for the students at their organizations before campus interviews are done. Next is advertisement. Advertising through different mediums cover wide range of area of market. For example, if some company has a new product, for advertising it, the people should come to know about the product. So the company will advertise its products in newspapers or any advertisements in the TVs. Few will go through the pamphlets giving people on the roadsides, or they'll go to every home to introduce to tell about the product. So this same way in the companies, when they have vacancies in their companies, they give description and the specification of the job in their company, so that if they give advertisement in the newspapers, the job seekers will come to know their ability, because in the advertisement there will be a description about the job, what the qualifications are needed to work in the company, what the salary they get, what if they have any experience in the other company, so that the people in they know about themselves, and if they are capable of doing that job, then they go to the interviews. In this we'll have a wide range of having more applicants, more employees. Next is employment agencies. These are the very good external sources of recruitment. We have public and private agencies. For different, if we have any, these provide employment opportunities. These agencies provide an employment opportunities. For example, if Amazon wants, they hire the people in the daily basis. So these people cannot, we have will be having the applicants in the large number, so the people can't do it by themselves directly with the sending them to the interviews. So that these people will be having few skilled peoples who will select them depending on their qualifications, their ability of doing the jobs. So they'll be shortlisted from there, and the people who are selected with the skilled few trainers, they'll be given, this list will be given to the HR, and they'll be interviewed from them, and these people will be paid. In this way the employment opportunities are also increased. Next is recommendations. This is one of the most important recruitment opportunity, where the recommendation, in sense, instead of advertising about having the vacancy in the company, some few known people in the company, they share about the vacancies, so that the known people who have the ability, who have their experience in some other companies, directly they will be sent to the HR for the interviews, and directly they'll be hired, instead of doing it in a process. This even have an advantage, because recommendations can't come through only one important or only has only advantage because recommendations from higher like MLAs or MPs, they recommend the people to the company. Even if they don't have any ability or any qualifications, even they are unfit for the company, they will be hired, and this will be unfair to the other employees in the company. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Good, good presentation. And Kirti, I think your 10th report. Yes or no? Okay, I will take the feedback of each and everyone later. Those who have given the presentation. Okay, Anusha, are you there? Okay, fine. Thank you, Kirti. I think you were a bit tensed a lot, isn't it?
Yes, sir, I was prepared, but because of these issues, I am not able to do it properly, sir.
Yeah, fine, but don't be tensed. It's just a discussion between you and us, right? Don't be tensed and be cool. If any problem arises, I will be there with you in order to sort out that particular problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyhow, thank you. Anusha,
Sir?
are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, start. And all the students who have given presentation, share your feedback about how you felt and what you have learned from by giving a presentation to our WhatsApp group of ME.
Hello?
Yeah, you can.
Sir, it is visible.
Yeah, it's visible. It's visible.
Myself Anusha. Topic external sources recruitment. Meaning of external sources is recruiting a person from outside. Why it is considered as important? Because there is new blood coming into the organization, and there is more new ideas coming into the organization. For example, we can give is working in a textile industry. There was a person working in a textile industry, and he has been working in that industry for 15 years, and it has been recruited under senior position or manager. He will have some fresh idea that how to grow this garment industry. And there are many types in external sources. Direct recruitment. Notice the place on the notice board of the organization, which is outside the company, with specifying the complete details of the jobs available. The workers which have been selected under this direct recruitment are casual work, daily wage. In case of direct recruitment, unskilled and semi-skillers are higher. Here, unskilled means grocery clerks, cashiers, laborers are come under unskilled. Semi-skillers are salesperson, taxi drivers, and security guards are come under semi-skillers. It is a economical method because there is no cost of advertisement for the organization. And next, casual callers. Generally, in an organization, company receives unsolicited application from job seekers. If the time is required or vacancy, the casual workers are considered. It is also economical method because there is no cost of advertisement for the organization. Mail or drop in the job application seeking the job opportunity is called casual callers. And then next, advertisement. It is generally given in newspaper or magazine, which gives complete description about jobs and its recruitment. It is given for skilled and educated employees so that more number of people get encouraged to join into their organization. Here, skilled is coming under engineers and scientists. They are come under skilled laborers. And next, employment exchange. It is run by the government and it is given for unskilled and skilled employees. Unemployed person get themselves registered here, and employment exchange or touch are in touch with the employees, and it made obligatory to notify their vacancies. And then next is campus recruitment. Organization conduct interview in the college university and they search for the suitable candidates which they want to their organization. And this interview can be conducted in IIT, IIM sectors. And then next is recommendation of employees. Existing employees are encouraged to recommend suitable person among their friends and relatives. It is the one of the source reliable candidates. Here reliable means good quality are only selected through recommendation. And then labor contractors. Labor contractors are used for hiring the laborers which is of unskilled and semi-skilled workers. Contractors are in touch with laborers. The charge is free from the organization. Thank you.
Fine. Good answer.
Sir.
Next time next time my expectation from your end is go with the slides rather than the
Hello.
point. Thank you, Anusha. Next time, when your presentation was good, next time I expect the presentation from your end by preparing the slides in the
Okay, sir.
as you done in the point wise. Okay. Good.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Keep
sir.
it up.
Thank you,
Move
sir.
ahead. Next, Manasa.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Can everyone see the screen now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Mansa. As we all know, we are discussing about staffing process today. And there are two types of staffing process: internal staffing and external staffing. What is internal staffing means? Where the organization selects the people who wants them to work among themselves. They don't go for the searching of talents outside the organization. And it is also one type, it is also a convenient process because there will be no process, there will be no wastage of time in searching for talents. But when it comes to external sourcing, it means we are recruiting people, means we are hiring people based on their talent, based on their interest from outside of the organization. It also has a many advantages that it can always bring a fresh talent, it can always bring interest in among them, it can bring a competitive environment among them. So let's see what is external sources, how is it done. As I said, external sources is requiring or recruiting members from outside the organization. So they can be done under 7 methods. First one is direct recruitment, second unsolicited application, third one advertising, fourth one employment agencies, fifth one educational institutes, sixth one labor contracts and recommendation. So these are all the methods in which, in using any method, we can recruit the people outside our organization based on their talent and our requirement. Let's see first one. Let's go with direct recruitment. Direct recruitment. It is known as one of the important source of recruitment because we place a notice based on our requirements and based on the notice we have given. People may select if they want to join us, they can join. Here we are not forcing anyone to join. We are calling them based on their interest and we'll select them according to our requirement. Example, we can take many government exams like UPPSCs and we can take KPSCs where we'll get notice that they are conducting an exam for requiring us, recruiting us. We'll see if we are interested in our job, if we are capable of doing certain job, we will apply, we'll write an exam. If we clear that exam, we can go to interview. Here, many people get filtered. So the people we need to select becomes less. Next they'll go for interview, next they'll go for another selection process. By doing this, only few people will stay back. Those are people who are actually capable of doing the job. This may be called as direct recruitment. Like I said, many government exams can come under such types. Even we can consider a bank exam. They'll announce that they're requiring so and so post in this such bank. What we'll do first, we'll apply for the examination. but we'll see if we are capable of doing that job. Are we required to do that job? After confirming, we will go through exams. After examining, we'll go through interviews. Only if we clear the interviews, we'll go to employment. In the same way, there are many other exams, and a direct requirement is considered as very important source of external sourcing. Next, we can go to unsolicited application. Unsolicited application means here people are left to their opinion whether they want to join us or no. Like we can consider any normal events arranged in our college. We are not forced to join any events. They say we are conducting so and so event. If you all want, you all can participate. You have that skill to participate, you are interested to participate. The decision making is left to us. We want to participate, we'll no force. If we will, if we don't participate, no one is going to ask us why are you not participating, because it is our will and way. Qualified persons can apply for employment to spread companies, to represent companies on their own initiative. Such applications are known as unsolicited applications. Example, we can consider some software company. Let us consider, suppose any one of us, or consider me, I'll get a job, I'll get employment after in the campus interview in any company. A few days later, I may not feel comfortable to work in that company. I may feel I should go out of this company after some certain period. Then I can go through different companies where I can see what is if there is any what you can if there is any placement option available where I can join them. If there is any vacancy available, I can apply directly to them without interference of any other people. Such an process can be called as unsolicited application, where joining and applying for the job is my will and wish. No one else can interfere in that. And next, advertising. Advertising is the most important, where we can reach the bottom level people also. Many big companies can reach till the bottom level person by using advertising. While going on the roads, while just passing by, we can see many banners on the roads. We can see many ads when we open a mobile. When you go through in few certain jobs, we can see the many people are advertising that they are hiring some people and all. Large enterprises, particularly when vacancy is for the highest post or there are large number of application, uses the sources where advertisements are made in local and national level newspapers. Okay, when we consider a newspaper, those who have the habit of reading newspaper, we can see at seventh or eighth page, at the bottom they'll give a separate section called as classifieds, where the advertisements, that is mainly for advertisement for jobs. The job seekers can mostly come to know the jobs that are near the around surrounding them. The requirements will be mentioned, the job salaries will be mentioned, all the description will be mentioned properly, so that we can see if we want to join. By doing this by doing advertising, the advantage is we can hire people easily. It also has an advantage, a disadvantage, that the application we receive for that pertinent job will become much more. Suppose I have an vacancy for 25 jobs, I may receive application nearly of 100 to 200 people. Maybe so many people will be interested in them. I need they need to again go to different processes to, so that I can filter the people whom I need to select. So I have added a picture where we can see that there is given the designer wanted. Some company is hiring some designers, and they have added their requirement here. They have added what are the needs for their what are the needs for to join them, all they've given. And also outside you can see the jobs classified in the newspaper. We usually see all these things in our daily life. We can see pamphlets. There will be when we are passing through the road, someone may hand a pamphlet to us where it will be written required so and so people, job available for so and so category people. So advertising can be considered as very large and easiest method to reach to the people, to to recruit them. The next, when we come to employment agencies are the people who act as a mediator between job givers and job seekers. Suppose I am running an agency. I will have a contact between both. I will have a contact between the people who want people to join them, who want people to work for them. I will have a contact with them. I will also have a contact with the people who are educated, who are graduated, but they don't have job. They are seeking for the job which are suitable for them. Whenever a company or a people who wants people who wants to place people for them, they will notify me that so and so people wants the job. So I know I need a people with so and so knowledge, with so and so talent, so that I can place them in that job. I can look at the people who I am having, so that I can select the people who really require the job, and I can place them in that company. In this means I will act as a mediator between the people who needs the job and the people who want people to work for them. Let us consider an example of employment office. This is a government office which is available for the people or the students who have graduated. After we complete our graduation, we can just go to the government office or taluk office. We can enroll our name, we can register our name, and we can mention what are requirements, what are our requirements, what are we graduated in, what are our special skills, talents and all. And they will categorize us based on that. And after that, whenever there is a job opening for so and so people, they will see in which category we fall, and if we are capable of doing the job, they will recommend it for us. And we it may it now the government is acting as a mediator between the people who wants us to job work for them and the people who wants job to earn money. This can be considered as employment agencies. Now here are some of the websites also they are present, who makes us available to find the jobs. We can just go through Google and we can search it, the jobs available for so and so people. We'll get so many job sites which tells we will help you to get jobs, and we'll help you to get jobs. This can also be considered as electronic employment agencies. Though they don't directly come in contact with them and us, still they act as a mediator between the people who wants to hire us and the people who are getting hired. Here I have mentioned few of those job sites where we can log in and we can find the jobs for us. Hence we can consider them as electronic employment agencies. Next comes our educational institutes. Many jobs educational institute, after the completion of the graduation, every student holds an ambition that he should get placed in a good job, good company and all. Educational institute plays an important role in that. Suppose when we consider we engineering people, first after completing our PUC, the first thing we see to select our college is how are the placement activities. Will the college students get placed in good companies and good companies, or no, what will be the package you'll get when we join through this college. These all are the things that matters for an engineering student. It may be same for degree students. Few degrees also get campus interviews, few degree people also will get employed through the get placement activities. So this also can be considered as important role. But the thing is, after going through an educational institute, after completing your graduation, and as soon as you are placed, there will be a special training is given to those students, so that they can come out of the environment of the college or the educational institute, so that they can adapt themselves into the working areas. So uh, certain other trainings will be given for them. And we can see here there are many companies which also recruit through our college. Last year also we have seen the Infosys recruited our seniors. Many other companies recruited our seniors. After recruitment, they'll go through different trainings and acquire training and become an employed person. This is also a method where people can acquire us, where people can hire us. The people who wants us to work for them can hire us according to our talents. That is why we go through interviews, so that they can differentiate us what are our specific talents, where they can place us. To see this, we go through interview places. So this can also be one method of direct sourcing, educational method institutes. Then we come to labor contract. Labor contract means the labors who are contract basis. We see when someone says you have got a job, we first ask, is it contract basis or it is permanent? So contract basis means it is not for a long period. It is just for a certain work until it is completed. After completion, I can just leave the people. I can just leave the institution. It's not necessary that I should continue. Suppose I sign a contract of 2 years. After 2 years, if I'm not happy with that institute, I can with happily leave the company and go to another company. It is called contract basis. If we see another way, you see the people who are working at a construction site. We usually, in the local language, we call them mestris. They are not skilled. It doesn't mean they're civil engineers who can construct buildings, but they are also unskilled people because they have always done the small things. They know very well how to do it, so they can be called as semi-skilled people. They are the basic of any construction company. Even if few members, if even if a few mestris are absent for a day, the whole work maybe stop. They, even though they act as a pillar, but still they cannot be considered as educated people or skilled people. That's why they are called as labor, and they are appointed in contract basis. One mestri, it is not necessary that whatever the construction company takes a project, in every project he should be employed. It's not necessary. If he has signed a contract for 2 years, it's okay. After 2 years he can go through other companies and he can join there and work for properly. This is called as labor contract, which labors are appointed according to the contract basis. And then last comes the recommendation. Recommendation has both advantages and disadvantages. Recommending means, if suppose I am working in some company and one of my friend, he has not able to find a job for himself, and there is a job in my company which is suitable for him, I can recommend to my HR that he is a person whom I know, he has done the so and so degree, he knows well, he can join this. HR can directly interview him without asking him to go through other process, because I have recommended him, I have known him for so long. This is called as recommendation. This may be one advantage, and another disadvantage may be that the person is close to me. I want how somehow I want him to place in my company. I may tell wrong things about him, even though he's not skilled. I can tell, okay, he's skilled, he can manage the job. HR has to believe me because I am his employee. At least he out of courtesy, he may believe me and employ my friend who is not capable of anything, and it may affect the whole company. So this may recommendations have both advantages and disadvantages. It can hire the people very fast. It can reduce some process, but it can also in future bring some problems to the company. I hope I have explained it properly as much as my ideology. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Good, Mansa. It was a nice discussion. Fine. All the best.
Sir, it was very nice, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anybody wants to give a feedback, you can give the feedback.
Mansa, it was really very nice.
Thank you.
And like one thing I just wanted to tell you, like when you come for labor contract, you was telling, right?
Yes, yes.
The thing you are going in a labor contract related to the civil engineering, but labor contract related to a company comes different. So just have a look with that. That's it.
Okay, I just take an example of civil engineering so that it may be easy to explain for me.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. And don't ever take any sort of things when someone asks you the questions, okay? Just take it as positive.
No, sir.
Just move ahead. Don't get aggressive. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we may be wrong and they may be correct. Or sometimes they may be wrong. That's not an issue. Just we can accept the things and we can say, we can try to justify ourselves, or else we can say that we will look into it. Okay? That is what the thing that we have to learn. Instead, don't ever think something bad about the one who asked you the question or who asked you something else. Okay? Fine. Next is Arshit, TJ. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'll share the screen, sir.
Yeah. And one more thing, don't worry that, don't think that the time will be over and we won't be able to present it. Okay, from every class after 11 o'clock, from 11 to 11:30, we can have this discussion. Okay, don't ever think that we can't give the presentation today. I will give a chance to each and every student, every class after 11 o'clock, from 11 to 11:30, we can have these discussions. Okay. Okay, Ashit, start.
Sir, my screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, it's visible.
Hello.
Yeah, it's visible, Arshit.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. Myself, I'm Harshit. Today we are discussing a topic on recruitment, which is a part of recruitment, that is sources of recruitment.
Hello.
So let's start. What is
ಸರ್
recruitment?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
Recruitment,
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಕಾಣ.
recruitment refers to a process of identifying, attracting, interviewing, selecting, hiring an employee or a candidate. Depending on the size of
ನಿಮ್ದು
depending
ಕರೀತಾರೆ
upon the size of an
ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ
organization,
ಇದ್ರದ್ದು
recruitment is
ಇವನು
responsible
ಗೌಡ
for a range of
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
workers.
ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸತ ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ.
We have various sources of recruitment which are divided mainly on two categories. We can take by internal sources. The major recruitments from the internal sources are from the transfer and the promotion of a job. Transfer is nothing but an transferring a job from one company to other or an same difference, and promotion is nothing but from the same company giving them higher salaries and higher place to that employee. We have an external source. The external recruitment are as follows: direct recruitment, unsolicited recruitment, advertising, employment agencies, education institute like campus interviews, and labor contract recommendations. Direct recruitment. Direct recruitment implies open to all candidates rather to open to a specific candidate. Anyone can apply to that interview. They will be given a notice to open source, and any candidate can apply to that. This process includes define the potential of that candidate and contact them directly, identifying and selecting one or more applicants based on the projects which are done previously and the skills which they have. The recruitment is performed based on the interviews. If we take an IT sector, they are run by interviews, not by physical. If we take on other sectors like mm, police or any other civil exams, they will do by physical tests and other tests. Unsolicited applications. These are the applications which are the job applications which are collected by the company or the recruiters during there is no job. If any employee come, if any candidate come and apply the job to then that company, they won't reject the job applications. They'll keep in the database without rejecting that applications, because it may help in future. These applications are used when the job vacancies in on other particular field, depending upon the type of resume or depending upon the work the candidate can do. The selected applications are reviewed, called for an interview, and selected. Next comes an advertising. We know that advertising plays a very important role, not only in this recruitment. We can see that in YouTube and other social medias, many plays a very vital role. So the whole world is depending upon the advertisement. More transactions are even done due to the advertisement. So advertising plays a very important role let's take in recruitment. The process of providing the job opportunity to the required job vacancies by the mean of advertisement is called as advertisement through the recruitment. This involves social media, newspaper, television, and websites, and etc. We can take an examples like Naukri, Shine, Indeed, and LinkedIn. This plays a very important role. So we can recruit candidates from outside by advertising and offer them a good job. Employee agencies. Many large companies recruit candidates from contacting agencies for fulfilling the particular job. Let's take an example like Flipkart. They don't directly come. The worker in Flipkart doesn't come home and they deliver the products. They hire like e-card. They'll give a contact to the e-card. They are the e-card is an employed agencies which plays a role in delivery. Agencies provide good candidates to that companies because e-card has an efficient of delivering since many years. This point, efficiency, they have experience in this field. Educational institutes. It's like a campus interview, as it's routine in our college. Many companies visit to the college and recruit the candidates. They offer good package based on the projects and the presentation and etc. Large recruitment is done through this source. Next comes on labor contract. Many big companies requires a large number of laborers for particular task. Let's take not in an IT sector. Let's take in civil constructions or anything. We have a materials and we have a plan and everything, but we don't have a labors. We can't go find each particular labor and ask the price of them maintenance. This problem is not required for the company, so they have taken the labor contract. The company doesn't want any burden on the managing the labors, so the labor contractor for huge amount of labor, huge number of labors for the specified period of time. They won't take it for a particular for permanent time. Next comes recommendation. Recommendation doesn't have any disadvantage as it's just a recruitment which is recommended by an employee which is working in that company, which is the recommended doesn't implies that he directly selected to the company. Verification is done, and when the typically sent to an HR or an admission officer who is deciding whether to take the candidate. Recommendations may be an employer, relative, or colleague or friends, etc. This process is done by giving recommendation letter to from the employee about the candidate experience, etc., to the HR, which makes the work easy. It's not a disadvantage. Thank you.
Fine, Ashit. It was a very good presentation slides, but when it comes to the point of your preparation, I feel you need some more sort of preparation which need to be done. Okay. Hope this will be you will come up with the more preparation in the upcoming presentation in future also. Okay. The presentation was good and the language which you have used was good, but I felt some sort of lack in terms of preparation. You would have explained about the slides which you have prepared still more in depth about what actually the particular concept, and like you have used something like Flipkart and Dcart and all those things, right? So just a brief explanation of all those things was much needed in order to make our students understand and be happy about your presentation. Anyhow, good. Try your best. Okay, in the next upcoming presentation, I want you to be some more prepared and go ahead. Good. All the best. Good.
Okay.
Next, most of the students are asking for next I will do sir, next I will do sir, but I will select random names instead of going with your request. Okay. Aishwarya Ronald. Are you there? Your voice is not audible, madam.
Hello?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Share your presentation and start with your presentation.
Sir, it's visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. My topic is external source of recruitment. There are 7 types of external source of recruitment. First one, direct recruitment. Direct recruitment is an important source of recruitment. Is direct recruitment by placing the notice on the notice board of the enterprises by specifying the details of job available. For example, sending agency representatives to college campuses and other educational facilities to find freshly trained or trainable talent. Second one, unsolicited applications. Many qualified person apply for employment to reputed companies on their own initiative. Such applicants are known as unsolicited applications. Third one, advertising. Large enterprises, particularly when the vacancy is for higher post or there are large number of applications, use these sources where advertisements are made in local and national level newspapers. For example, outdoor advertising. It includes hoarding banners, flags, plugs, wraps, etc. An example of an outdoor advertisement is this hoarding by Audi car. Fourth one, employment agencies. Employment agencies give good source of for unskilled and semi-skilled jobs. The employment exchanges bring jobs, givers and contract with job seekers. Fifth one, educational institutes. Many jobs in business and industries have become increasingly varied and complex, which need a degree in that particular area. This is why many big organizations maintain the close relation with colleges and vocational institutes and management for recruitment of various jobs. Example, engineering, agricultural medicine. Sixth one, labor contract. Labor contract often unskilled show the labor contract. Example, agreements between the two peoples like a contractor and labor. Seven, recommendations. Applicants introduced by friends, relatives, and employees of the organization may prove to be good source of recruitment. Thank you, sir. Sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. 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 Hello, sir. Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Are you able to listen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Anvita, yeah, fine. Aishwarya, it was a very good presentation. Only the thing is, I suggest you is a brief explanation on all the concepts is bit needed from your end. Okay. Okay, fine. Ultimately, it was a fine